Am I allowed to be? Ooh, sorry. Am I allowed to be holding my?
Hello and welcome
yes.
back to the Austrian Brewers Cup Coffee Championships here at the Alles für den Gast in Salzburg. And our next competitor is already on stage. Competitor number 4, McCrey. Hey! And here come our lovely judges, headed by head judge Matt. Hey, Matt! And here is Joey, David, Celia, Victoria, and once again, Matt. There you go.
Girl, if I'm allowed to. Oh, well, I'm a little sweaty. I hope that doesn't bother you. That doesn't affect the sensory, my body odor.
I'm not going to dack you up.
Yes, thank you. Lovely to be here with you guys. I am ready. Are you guys ready?
Stage is yours when you're ready.
Gorge.
Enjoy.
So, time. Hello, judges. My name is McCrey Guillory, and I'm the green coffee buyer, as well as one of the coffee roasters for Kaffeemeisterschaften Coffee Roasters in Vienna. And I'm so honored and excited to be able to share with you what I cherish most about specialty coffee, which are the human aspects. Specifically, I am referring to the emotional and personal response that we all have to sensory. Every flavor and sensation that we are capable of perceiving in a cup of coffee carries a story and emotion, as well as memory along with it, which is something that I think is really cool, and I would love to celebrate that with you guys by brewing you a cup of coffee whose outstanding clarity and exceptional sweetness have done exactly that, elicited a visceral and deeply personal emotional response within me. As soon as I tasted this coffee for the first time, I was overcome with emotion, as almost every flavor that I was capable of perceiving in it brought me back to the presence of my grandfather, Papa Bill, with whom I was so lucky to have been able to share so much time with while experiencing those very same flavors. The memory of our relationship, conveyed by the sensorial characteristics of that coffee, has had a profound impact on me, and is something that I would like to share with you, not only through words, but sensory as well. But before we get to the nostalgia, I would like to detail a little bit more about the production of this cup of coffee, and thus what made it possible for me to even have that reaction to it, by starting with the farming. The coffee that I'll be sharing with you today is an anaerobically fermented geisha, farmed by Jose and Bibiana Luttrell on their farm, Hacienda Cañas Verdes, in Panama, and is otherwise known as Abu Coffees. Ironically, Abu Coffees gets its nickname from the special relationship that the family on the farm had to their grandfather, or abuelo. Jose and Bibiana carry on his legacy by farming their coffees in the rich volcanic mineral soil of the Volcan Baru National Park, where the cherries have the unique benefit of an abundance of organic material to aid in the formation of their rich organic sugars and complex flavor compounds. The cherries for this cup today were actually picked from the Grand Rail pick of the harvesting season, and were enhanced by a 160-hour anaerobic fermentation and dried on African raised beds for 25 days. I am brewing with an origami dripper due to the optimal combination of increased brew bed area, as well as the option to use a flat Kalita-style dripper. Sorry, not dripper, excuse me, filter, actually, allowing me to achieve a more even and balanced extraction of a flat, thin bed. I'm pouring with a ratio of 1 to 16 with 18 grams of coffee and 288 grams of water, using 2 separate grind sizes. On the bottom, I have 8 grams of coffee ground at 29 clicks of my Comandante, so as to essentially slow the flow rate and allow me to enhance this coffee's juicy, winey body. On top, the remaining 10 grams of coffee have been ground at 32 clicks, which is a coarser grind size, preventing me from over-extracting the coffee and allowing me to enhance the perception of its rich, bright acidity. I am brewing at a total of 4 pours of equal 72 grams, using aqua code water, which has the optimal mineral combination to aid in the dissolution of those complex fruity flavors without over-extracting any bitter flavor compounds. Together with a low brew temperature of 91 degrees, I'm able to ensure a well-rounded cup full of bright, high acidity, and many complex fruity flavors, which I will touch on shortly, all of which have had a part or played a role in enhancing that deep emotional and emotional response that I had to this coffee. So let's finally get to the sensory, and for that, I would like you to imagine something. After driving for 4.5 hours from the southeast of Texas, you finally make it to the northwest of Louisiana, where a stocky older man is sitting in his garden waiting for you with a massive smile under his white mustache and his massive belly also tucked into his white tank top. In front of him is a massive paper plate, dripping and dissolving under the juices of a pile of fruit that he meticulously cut in preparation for your arrival. This is the moment that I was brought back to upon tasting this coffee, and I hope you can taste that as well. But let's start with the aroma. I knew I was in the presence of my grandfather when I smelt the strong notes of gardenia, vanilla, and grape. Gardenias were my grandfather's, or Papa Bill's, favorite flower, and I just remembered immediately how much he shared his love for those flowers with us, and was very special for me. The flavors now are divided into hot, warm, and cold, and we're all on the plate that he had cut for us to enjoy. When hot, you will notice flavors of green apple, cherry, cantaloupe, and grape. This cools down to make a more precise green grape flavor, cantaloupe, and cotton candy. Finally, at its coldest stage, you will notice its sweetest flavors of fresh blood orange juice, as well as, do you know? As well as yellow plum. Delicious, love them, don't you? The acidity is bright and malic when hot. However, cools to incorporate some citric characteristics. The body is winey when warm and cool. However, when hot, it is juicy. Aftertaste is medium long. When hot, you've got cantaloupe. It's delicious. When warm and cool, you'll notice that you get that winey body accompanies a Riesling aftertaste, as well as orange. And finally, at its coolest stage, the aftertaste resembles a little bit of something like cognac, which I did not get from my grandfather, nor did I get the Riesling from my grandfather. They just happen to be in the cup, and they're delicious, so I want you to taste them. As I mentioned, the body, Juicy and winey, acidity, aftertaste, flavor. Gorgeous. So judges, I really want to thank you for honoring not only memory of my grandfather and the social relationship that I had to him and those fruits that we got to share together, but also honoring the power of sensory and coffee, which I think we are all very familiar with. I will be serving you your coffees in cups that I developed together with my friend Jackie at La Potteria in Vienna that should enhance your perception of its sensory. It has a wide bottom and tapered top, as well as a wide lip to spread out the flavors over your palate. So judges, finally, thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Thank you, and enjoy. Time. Is this okay? Okay.
Thank you very much, McCrey. Great show. So if you step over here
Yes.
into the camera to me.
Oh, right here?
So we
Gorge.
can have a few words.
Oh,
So
here's the camera.
how was it for you today? How was it for you?
Nerve-wracking. I was a little bit more erratic than I wanted to, and what I always notice is that, like, doing it at home in front of friends, I never shake, but I get such bad shakes in front of the judges because obviously I'm very, fond of them, and so I was shaking quite a bit, but can't do anything about it.
It is a nerve-wracking situation.
Yeah.
Anyone who's ever competed will testify to that, so
Yeah,
that's completely
absolutely.
normal. And as we always say, the judges are just as nervous as you are. So if
I
that
hope so.
calms your nerves, it'll help. You are
really
also
does.
from the Kaffeemeisterschaften Formula One racing stable.
That is
and
true.
I think you are responsible for the coffee sourcing.
Yes, I do a lot of things. I do the green coffee sourcing, I do the roasting as well with Louisa, but also on the cafe side, I buy all of the guest roasts. We usually have 5 guest roasts a month, and I cup around 20 coffees a month to determine what comes into the shop, so I do a couple of things there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, judges.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
And you have recently acquired a roastery, can we say that?
Yes, we have a roastery. Oh, sorry. Yeah, since actually, we started working with Alpha Coffee Roasters
Yes.
back in the summer of 21, because we're in 22 now. Yes, 2021. We officially acquired the roastery in December of 2021 and have been roasting on full scale since then. Me and Louisa, actually. I do the green coffee sourcing, and Louisa does the head roasting, so she's more in charge of like quality control of the roasting, and I get to take the reins on the green.
And I think that all of Austria who's interested in coffee can say a big thank you to Kaffeemeisterschaften, who has allowed our national and international world coffee roasting champion Felix to roast in your roastery.
Yes.
Thank you from all of Austria.
Yes, very welcome. We were very happy to, whenever Louisa asked if it was okay, I was like, yes, duh, absolutely.
Excellent. So thank you very much, and
Yes.
maybe we'll see you in the finals.
Yes.
All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll have a short break now because one competitor has become ill. So the next competitor will be Paul from Gotha Coffee at 11 o'clock. Thank you very much. Until then.